Gia and Tanya are my morning coffee.
Well, good morning, good people. Good to see you all again. Happy after 4th of July. Happy after 4th of July. Did you even celebrate 4th of July this year, Miss Gia?
I'm gonna put my glasses on so we can twin today. Let me see. Hold on, let me get them together. Okay. Hey, yes, I did celebrate 4th of July. If you call being at home celebrating, but I was just Jeff and I were at home, and then our fraternity brother and sister came by. Deb and Mark, they're a couple, married. They came over, and we just threw some stuff on the grill, and we just, the four of us just ate and chatted a little bit. But that was to the extent of my 4th of July. It's I don't get in these holidays like that, so that's all I did.
I don't get in these holidays like that.
I ate some shrimp and some salmon and and some baked beans. But what I also did, let me give a shout out to our fraternity brother. I know him well, John Jackson, aka J Smooth back in the day. He barbecues and he throws down. So he sold some barbecue dinners and stuff for the 4th of July. So I ordered some, and I actually picked up barbecue for my mom, and also picked up a couple plates for Jeff and I. But so I did do that. So we had the traditional barbecue, which I'm going to eat today. And then yesterday we had, like a little seafood type thing, doing a little something different and stuff. But that was it. Uneventful, and then, of course, later on at night, your cousins, they start cutting up with the fireworks and stuff and carrying on all night long. But I didn't have any fireworks. It was funny because I was telling Jeff, and I was saying there's a lot of fireworks on our block. It would sound like they were on our block, but we never see kids in the daytime. So we never see kids. So I'm like, it's funny how we never see kids out here, but there's a whole bunch of fireworks going off. And I thought fireworks was for the, to me when I was a kid, as a kid, that was a big thing. You wait for 4th of July for the fireworks. But a whole lot of grown ass people I see that is out here doing these fireworks like they're kids.
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna say. How was your 4th of July? Because you got kids.
First of all, ladies and gentlemen that are out there, welcome to this special episode of My Morning Coffee, where the conversation always promises to be hot, bold, and full of flavor. But today, because of my 4th of July, it's a little slow. It's a little dehydrated. Okay. And my kids could care less. Let me tell you, Talia went and spent time with some other friends. Me and Ray just got through talking about that. We're like, one day the kids are not going to care about these fireworks, which it seems has happened because everybody, like you said, that was out there trying to get it, we're grown. Mm-hmm. We're grown. She was with her friends. Roman was like, no, I'll pass. Okay.
I'll
pass. Yeah. And Royce was actually just getting over his second COVID shot. So we had some pretty awful reactions to this second shot. He's been sick. He's had migraines. We've been pretty upset about it because we weren't really ready for that. The first one was, and this one did not. So, migraines, his temperature was 102 for some days. So we've been incredibly worried, but it was good to see. Finally, last night, he started to come back around. So my 4th of July was relatively quiet and just happy to be here. We went out to lunch and it started to bother us. So Ray and I both got a little food poisoning. So, I'm just happy to be here. So what's in my cup this morning? Water. Okay. Lots of water. Went to the gym this morning and it was probably like 6 people there. So I guess everybody's still recovering from whatever they were doing for the 4th of July. For us, it's just water, Mama. Just water. What's in your cup this morning, Miss Gia?
I have coffee, of course, because I stay up late. I stay up to the wee hours of the morning, and then I get like a nap before like the show. So now I'm got some coffee to pick me up because I'm always up late creating and doing things I should go to bed like maybe 10 or 11. But sometimes I don't go to bed till sometime 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I know that's not good, especially that I'm getting older. They say I need more rest, more sleep. So I have coffee to kind of lift me, but it doesn't really lift me because I'm a lightweight coffee drinker. So it's not like it's really strong or anything. I think I just drink coffee because it's just a thing. Because I look cute doing it. Maybe that's why I drink it.
Speaking of cute, Miss Gia and the Mahogany Box has put together these amazing My Morning Coffee Cup Crew pieces for us. So be on the lookout for those. Be a part of the Cup Crew. Tune in, tap in, and let us know what's in your cup. We want to know. And we'll have more details about the Cup Crew attire. But let me get into hot topics for this past weekend. And I'm not sure if you had a chance to check out what was going on with ESPN, but I know that it has been pretty contentious. We are in a moment of time in our culture where we're talking about affirmative action and Black history. And it has been a thing where we are supposed to be supporting us as a country being more united. Women supporting women, people supporting 100% of our American history. And it seems that the word allyship has taken on new meaning, right? We want to know, who are our allies? Who are people that support us as a community? Who supports everybody doing well? And there are those that come out and say that they're allies and they support our community and they want us to all unite and be one big happy country. And then something happens and people start showing their true colors. So I'm going to play a little bit of the clip from this weekend that happened to pop up. But the crazy part is it happened almost a year ago. And it's just interesting.
For Maria to do the hosting. Yeah. So, I have declined. I don't know what their next move is, but they are feeling pressure because of all of that. And I'm trying to figure out like how to just, my thing is that I wish Maria Taylor all the success in the world. She covers football, she covers basketball. If you need to give her more things to do because you're feeling pressure about your crappy long-time record on diversity, which by the way I myself know personally from the female side of it, go for it. Just find it somewhere else. You're not going to find it with me.
Classic.
So I want to get your thoughts, Miss Gia.
I had to take my glasses off for this, so the folks can see my eyes and everything. So, we got Miss Nichols and Miss Taylor, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, Miss Nichols is saying, I'm all for Taylor. Taylor does a great job, yada, yada, yada. But obviously, she ain't, based on what the recording captured. So she a little in her feelings because the network just decides to have Taylor cover the NBA Finals, 2020 NBA Finals, and that was what she was supposed to be doing, correct?
Correct. Okay.
So what I find interesting is when she's talking, the way these I'm gonna call them our distant cousins, how our distant cousins how they speak when they're speaking about us, because the way she says, I'm all for, they want to give her more things to do, like she's a child or something. It's like that right there in and of itself lets me know she has that little entitlement going on with her. This how she's referencing things and stuff when she's referring to Miss Taylor. And the whole thing, I'm all for her doing this, I'm all for her doing that, but just not over here. Well, what I didn't understand, do it somewhere else. Well, where's somewhere else for her to do it? If she works for the network, just like you work for the network, well, where else is for her to do it? Are they going to have her do it on the network? So I don't know what was going on with her and that, but obviously she and her feelings about, the sister girl covering the NBA finals. And we always hear about people saying, "Oh, I'm for everybody. I want everybody to have this. I want everybody to have that. I'm all for diversity. I'm all for inclusion and stuff." But then it begs to differ. Are people really all for that? Or they just say it because that's the thing to say now, and it sounds good, and it's going to get them some street cred?
I mean, that comes with being a part of the network family.
Right.
She wants to be the favorite child.
Right.
She does not want anyone else getting any of her piece of pie. My problem with this is, one, you work in an industry full of Black men, and they seem to be relating really well with the new girl. Compared to Rachel, she's the new girl. I know it's hard to see yourself getting replaced or to the side, but ma'am, you're not the new girl anymore. You're old news, first of all. Secondly, they have the right to do whatever they want with their network. Thirdly, I thought women was supposed to be supporting women. What happened to the whole women empowerment, women supporting women thing? I guess that's just all the way out the door. And I'm starting to get incredibly irritated with women that are supposed to be supporting other women. And this girl was an athlete, first of all. And then they come out and show their true colors. No, I don't support other women. I do support them as long as it doesn't step on my toes. There are women that I like to watch, like the Gabrielle Unions and Taraji P. Henson's, that seem to support each other's wins. I think we do better when we support each other's wins. When we are being snipey and stank and nasty, not only do you look bad, trying to make another woman look bad, but then it gives men and those making decisions the opportunity to play one against the other. So now she don't put herself in a situation where she's looking hella crazy, even though it was a year ago. People know how to make that stuff ride out for well past that time. Whoever released this video knew what they were doing. That's first of all. And then she hasn't said anything. So she hasn't come out one way or the other. That's a crisis PR thing. I get it. But at the same time, I think if she could be that vocal, and if you pay attention to the conversation, the person that she was talking to, she was trying to get him to participate in this shit talking moment. She's trying to get him, egg him on to bring him into her mess. This is your mess. You need to go to the network and clean up your own mess. You don't need to be bringing other people into your mess.
Well, you know what, Tanya, it's funny because, like you said, you threw out a few names and how they are supporting for they're showing support for the wins and stuff. And I do know that we have made some strides in that area, and we still have a long way to go because it wasn't, way back when. I don't know if all of them. I'm not going to say Taraji, but Gabrielle did have she's come a long way where now she's better about supporting. But she was a mean girl back in the day. And she even said that. But that happens a lot in all industries. And I'll just speak on my industry. I'm in a male dominant industry. And so the women that, to me, I've always felt that way going through the department, that women, we don't stick together in our profession. And so we rather go to a guy and seek guidance from the males as opposed to going to the women in our department who have risen up. And then sometimes women who have risen up don't really want to reach back down and help out other people. So I do get that, how it's sometimes it's kind of hard to figure out, who you can go to or who can be your mentor and things like that. But the question really is, like you said, are we really about supporting one another? We say it, but do we really walk the walk? Are we just doing the talk? Because everybody is not supporting everybody and everybody's wins. And like you said, if I'm cool with you as long as it ain't over here doing what I'm doing. But if you're doing what I'm doing, then all of a sudden, whoa, hold up. And, the support, I think, lessens. I'm not saying they don't support, but the pom-pom, they don't got the big pom-pom. They got the little small pom-pom. It's like, they ain't doing a really high jump. Because you used to be a cheerleader, Tanya, how y'all jump high and spread your legs and stuff. They're not doing that jump. They're doing a little short, the little up, that little small.
So you gonna spread your legs? You just gonna put me out there like that? Okay, cool.
Well, not like that. Well, the little cheer. You was a cheerleader. You was a little coach and all that kind of stuff. What is it called?
Toe touches.
Yeah, the toe touches. Yeah, you know. So some people do the big toe, do a real big toe touch, and some people do, you know, yeah, I'm gonna just do, you know, yeah, you know, my back hurt type toe touch. Yeah, I can't really get up there and stuff.
But back to what you said about Gabrielle. The main point is that one, she's older, she's more mature, and she did acknowledge that she was using mean girl tactics, right?
Right.
These women that we are talking about, particularly Rachel, who has been in this industry for so long, she knows better. And that's the problem is, you know better. You should be mentoring this girl, if nothing else. You should be supporting her and teaching her the ropes, showing your leadership in this industry instead of your spitefulness. But we're going to bring on a guest that can also talk about what it takes to grow in your career. And like most of us, it has been proven that we come into business, no matter what business it is, with so many strikes against us.
Yes.
Working to prove that we have a skill or a talent that's worthy of what we charge. Most people undercharge because they feel like, sometimes because they're Black, that they will not see the kind of money that someone, our counterpart, that does not look like us would get. So with all the strikes that we have against us, I want to bring on J Haleem, who has been amazing in starting business, helping others in business, growing his business, becoming a 3-time author. And that is after he had to fight a felony. So let's go ahead and bring him on. Mr. J Haleem, come on through, sir. Come on through.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, Sunrise. How y'all doing?
Oh,
all right.
So I want you to introduce yourself to the people, let them know a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to proceed with these questions that we got for you.
Okay, so of course I'm J Haleem, Washington. Most importantly, I'm a father and a husband. Of course, I have a bunch of business titles: author, speaker, trainer, business coach, consultant, all that good stuff. Corporate and international award-winning photographer, all that good stuff. But most importantly, I'm a dad and I'm a husband.
Well, Jay, we so much that we could talk about. I wanted this again. Thank you for coming on. I got introduced to you via Tanya. She kind of connected us, and I've been following you ever since then. You know, on all your social media and stuff. And I'm just, what I get to see via social media, I love everything you're doing. I love what you're talking about. I love your platform. It's just so much, but it's so much I want to get into. Because like Tanya said, you have what some people say, beat the odds and stuff. You've had some things in your past, and you've done some, you know, you've been caught up with the law, so to speak. And but you've risen above that. And I would like for you to talk to our viewers about that. Tell us a little bit about your story. And you don't have to, as much as you want to reveal about, your past when you were a little youngin'. And so I'm gonna say that when you were a little youngin' and stuff, out there, doing your thing and stuff, and how you, what motivated you and to overcome that stigma that gets placed on us a lot. And like Tanya said, we go into everything with the odds against us, and you're doing so much. And you are an inspiration. You're an inspiration to me. You're an inspiration to my husband. Jeff talks about you and stuff. So I just want this. Let us know. Talk to us. Tell us what you can tell us.
No problem. At this point, it's an open book, and this is so funny when you talk about getting over it, because I'm really still getting over it. It's been 18 years since I became a felon. That was my lifestyle growing up. I grew up in a household in Newark, New Jersey with my grandmother. She raised me. She had 8 children. 7 of her 8 children were strung out on drugs. And so me being the first grandchild, that was all I saw. And my grandmother said, hey, she took full custody of me. Then she took 9 other grandkids in full custody. And so she told me, she said, hey, you got a place to stay, but I can't, you got a place to eat too, but I can't, buy you no clothes or nothing like that. And of course, I didn't see people with 9 to 5s. I saw people hustling. And so I was always a good kid, never wanted to drop out of school. So I went to school, but it was how I got my money was where it was in nefarious ways. So I did that all the way up through high school. You know, toward the end of high school, I started getting arrested, going back and forth to juvie. And then I got a charge once right before I graduated high school, my first adult charge. And you know, because of school, because I was on my way to college, I was able to get a slap on the wrist. Had a little bit of money, so I had a lawyer. Not like a lot of times you don't have that opportunity to get an attorney and things of that nature. A lot of our brothers and sisters just go to jail. And then I had college, so it was like, okay, we're gonna let them go to college, coming back and forth up to probation every month just to report in. Get to South Carolina, I'm doing more of the same, you know, but taking it even to another level. So this time it's no more slap on the wrist. You know, you get arrested a few times, finally you get arrested for that felony, and it's like, hey, yeah, I had some money. I was able to get an attorney. Same situation. I was right before me graduating college, so they didn't send me to prison, but I still had to have this felony. And so the trip about it was, I'll see brothers go away for 3-4 years, come home and still get jobs. And because they'll have these programs out, when you're out in the world, you don't have those programs. They're looking at you like you should be good. And I mean, when I graduated college, I had good grades, but I got hired for jobs, career type jobs. And they let me go immediately as soon as they found out I had a background. So I had to figure it out. I had to use that same prowess I was using in the street to my own business. So I had already started doing certain things on the side, but then I just took it seriously after all the rejections. I just said, okay, I'm gonna start my own business. I started the cleaning business, and it did very, very well. And I've been an entrepreneur ever since. Of course, had little steps here and there the way I had to take side jobs and stuff to make ends meet, but I've been 1,000% on entrepreneurship. And just literally the beginning of June, I was pardoned after 18 years. So again, I spent the last 18 years with my head down. I'll be in certain functions and certain places because as a photographer, I've worked with some of the major, I work with Nike, I've worked with the National Guard, I've worked with the city, the county, the state, federal government. These are people, if I was looking for a 9-to-5, I would never got hired. But as a contractor, they hired me all the time. But you know, you don't want nobody to bring that up and put that on the forefront and say, hey, he's a felon. So I got my head down, just doing my work, minding my business, never talking about it. I rarely mentioned it. Even me becoming a speaker, that was never a part of my platform. But I had to rejoice and celebrate the fact that the accomplishment of being able to get pardoned. And that's when everybody started talking more about my felony. But a lot of people didn't even know that I was a felon because I just kept my mouth shut.
Wow, that's your story. Again, I'm telling you, your story is something else. It's funny when you said how here you are, you're a college graduate, you got a degree, you going out and getting jobs, and once they find out about your background, they let you go. And I'm sure that did something to your psyche. How did that make you feel? Because here it is, you're doing everything right. You know, it's like, hey, I done went to school and got my job, and I'm doing good. I think I'm doing good on the job. I'm getting good reports and stuff, and then all of a sudden, bam, I gotta let you go.
Yeah, it was tough because again, I hadn't really been in trouble since like my sophomore year of college. So I spent the last year and a half of college. I did 5 years. So the next 2, I was fighting the case. And so here I am in college doing stuff I ain't had no business doing because how else am I going to pay a lawyer? A lawyer on federal case, you paying $20,000, $30,000 for an attorney. I owe a bunch of money to the state, and all this for restitution, all this other stuff. How you going to do it? And I can't get the job. So I'm literally biting my nails every day, living, trying to keep my head low, fighting the case all the way through college. And so then when I finally got there, right there, the June 4th, literally June 4th, 2003, I graduated in 2004, is when I was convicted, when my case was done as far as that. And here I am waiting the next year, I got to graduate and I go into these jobs and they're like, nah, but I hadn't been in trouble. I hadn't been in any trouble since. And, so that hurt me. I got good grades. I mean, I was in very, very good grades. And none of that mattered. It was just like, hey, this is something you did when you was a little younger. We're not gonna let you breathe. And I was like, okay. And I saw it later on in my life. My wife lost her job on Capitol Hill. I had to sell off some of my business to make sure that we can be okay. I tried to get a job. I got hired for a great job. And again, same thing happened. And this was like 8-9 years later. So at that point, I really knew that it was a problem. But I said, I'm never going back. So when I went to go for a pardon, that was just for me. It wasn't about a job or anything like that. That was just something I wanted to get off my chest. And so doing that, I had to rejoice on it when it happened.
I'm rejoicing with you, and I commend you because a lot of your situation, a lot of people have been in your situation, and a lot of times you did the opposite. you just persevered and changed things. A lot of people would have just went back to that life because of the rejection from these jobs and stuff. And here it is, you took it and you turned it around and you said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep grinding. And here you are now, you're thriving. Like you said, you know, Tanya said you're an author. You got 3 books, you know, you motivating us, you telling us how we can succeed in our life and our business and stuff. And that's wonderful. That's awesome.
Jay, let me ask you this question really quick. It's something I've been struggling with for a while, and I'm glad that you're here to weigh in on it, okay? Black people, my people, our cousins, we tend to rally around things that are trendy, right? We rally around things that are in the moment, superficial to me. We have this, you know, we're Twitter activists. We get all emotional on social media. We can rally each other around getting everybody to the polls, but we have issues in our own community, particularly with supporting each other and making our communities a safer place. I believe that we don't need to wait for a government to do that. I believe that we can do that. But I want you to weigh in on that and talk about how you have been able to grow your business and help others do the same, because you definitely were not waiting for the government to do any of that, even though you had so many things against you.
You know, my whole business model is about putting people in a position so they don't have to go through the things that I went through. I had no blueprint. I had no mentors for real. And I did, it was like passing by. I didn't have nobody I can call every day, every other day, every week to say, hey, Jay, this is what you need to do. It was all a lot of trial and error, a lot of trailblazing. And so my job was to say, hey, I took it upon myself to say, if you work with me or you coming up underneath me, you're not going to go through the mistakes I went through. Now, everybody's going to have their own path. You're going to have your own mistakes, but you're damn sure not going to go through the ones I went through. Because if you love somebody, you're never going to let your kids go through what you went through. A lot of people in the Black community do that. They were like, well, I got put out at 18, so you got to get put out at 18. Or my mama ain't take care of me after I got out of the house, so I'm not going to do that for you. No, it's your responsibility to make sure the next generation do better than you do. And so when you have a kid or a new entrepreneur or a young brother, young sister from the community, you see them about to go right down in the toilet where you went, it's your job to step up and say, okay, look, not just talk to them, because the people do what you do, not do what you say. So show them, look, this ain't the way. Let me show you this way. Let me give you that step. But we don't want to give anything. Give that step. See that they're fertile ground. Invest in them. Even if they don't come back to you from them, it's going to come back. And so I'm going to let you hop over this, this pothole that I had to fall into and climb out of. You're not going to go nowhere near it. We're going to take you all the way around it and make sure you're good. And I'm going to tell you why I took you that route. I'm going to show you the ropes, and so that you could be way ahead of me when I was at your level. And people don't forget that. You know, when I used to go to church on a regular basis, I heard something when somebody said, you got to feed the 12 and let the 12 feed the 5,000. See, a lot of people trying to worry about feeding the whole 5,000. No, you feed a good amount of people and they'll go out and feed the rest. But it starts small. So that's in your household, outside your house, on your street, you know, in the school where your kids go to. If you can make those corrections there, then that'll start spreading out, you know, like wildfire. But a lot of people, like you said, going to the polls, they're trying to fix everything with one swing. We playing baseball. Just get on base. You don't got to hit a home run every time. Just get on base.
You're talking my language.
Yeah, you get on base, and then you're looking out for the next person to say, okay, if I get on base, you'll bring us home. But you got to be willing to trust that other person. So if you put that in them, you know they're going to bring you home if you just go ahead and get on base. Some people sacrifice. Somebody got to make that sacrifice. Somebody got to bunt so that you can get in and come home. Like, who is going to be that? And I overheard you guys talking about making that sacrifice. All of us, a lot of us in some way, shape, form, or fashion, get a little something and try to hold it because we think somebody's going to take it away from us. But that's because we're new money. You know, 400 years, they got a head start on us as far as having things. I'm sure nobody's writing that story, but it was a bunch of slave owners that lost their money and lost all of their stuff because they were balling out for their day, doing something stupid and lost it. And now that we're doing it, it's on media. No, we just got money. We don't know what to do with it. You give somebody $200 million and they don't know what to do with it, they'll be broke. But the next time they get a chance to get that money, I bet you they're not going to lose it because they had an opportunity. So everybody's getting opportunities. So just it's up to us. If you're ahead, make sure that their opportunity is a little bit easier than yours was. And that's been the motto of my business, and I won't starve. My whole mantra is just trying to make somebody create a platform that they can leap from, that wherever they go, wherever they land at, they'll be good.
I love that. Now listen, I Won't Starve. I want you to tell the people about, I call it a movement. You've written 3 books in a short period of time. Talk us through that.
Oh man, I Won't Starve. Again, this was me not talking about me being a felon. It was just, again, we fell victim to the Great Recession. We were living in DC, doing very, very well. My wife worked on Capitol Hill. Literally, our president now, Joe Biden, his chief of staff, when he was the vice president, was her boss. Well, he took that job and let everybody said, "Hey, y'all can go to hell," and everybody lost their job within 30 days. So living in DC was very, very hard to, try to maintain that. So we came back south. But again, it's not as many opportunities down here. And this is where I became a felon. So I had to start from all over from scratch. She couldn't get no near 6-figure job that easy. It's very hard to get that period down here. And so we had to start from scratch and figure it out. And I worked for a little while, a crappy job for $8 an hour. And then because again, they don't check the background of people who come in for $8 an hour. But after a while, I said, man, I'm way better than this. I know I'm better than this. I've done way more. And people was telling me that it wasn't a good idea for me to leave a job. I told them I won't starve. I didn't curse them. I didn't get mad, like I probably would have did before. I just was like, no, I won't starve. And it became a movement from that point on. And then as I was able to move forward within the next 3 years, I was running a 6-figure business. And so I'm like, okay, now it's time to give back. And so when I started giving back and created my I Won't Starve platform, I put other individuals on, gave them speaking opportunities. I taught them the things that I've learned because here I'm working with the city, the county, federal government, all the airports in the state that I work with and that I live in. And everybody's like, how do you get in that opportunity with a camera? Well, you know what? I'm gonna show you. But what I did, instead of just showing you or telling you, I brought the same people who was hiring my company to my workshops to give them an opportunity to hire them. And so over that time, we helped over 500 businesses get that type of access. And so that's what I Won't Starve has been about. We just became a 501c3 last year, so we celebrating our year anniversary. And I did that because the pandemic showed me that, for me, I'm around a bunch of people, and it's probably the same way where you guys are. People that look like us are starting nonprofits as an excuse to beg for money. And I'm not with that. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a capitalist. I don't mind putting up mine to get something back. However, what I did see was that it's people that look like me that don't have it. And so I said, well, everybody's telling us support Black business. And I think that's great to support Black business. But if I give Tanya $20 for her, what she's doing, and then she give me $20, neither one of us is coming up. But that we have another counterpart who we got to buy from them, and they never had to give anything back to us. And so I said, how can I set up a business model to where I can get them to give me something to help my people, and my people got to give them nothing back? So that's how you actually get up. And so with I Won't Starve, we created these programs and platforms to where banks, other major organizations, they pour into I Won't Starve so I can teach, train, and educate my people on entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship, teaching them how to navigate in the workspace as well as navigate your own business.
So y'all heard that I Won't Starve. It's they got a nonprofit. So Jay, make sure you put that in our chat so that people can donate and support your 501c3 because I'm all about supporting. And so y'all go and drop a few coins in there for my brother so he can help keep helping us.
So you said entrepreneurship, and then what was the other word you used? And explain that to the audience.
Entrepreneurship.
Say
and
it.
The reason why I said entrepreneurship is because everybody's not built to be an entrepreneur. Everybody doesn't want to be an entrepreneur. However, the entrepreneurial qualities that you have is needed even in the workplace. Now, if you hiring somebody for a job, first thing they tell you, they want you to be a self-starter. They want you to be able to work well with a team. They want you to be able to do things independently. Things that those are all entrepreneurial qualities, but they want you to be able to create your vision within the vision of their company and be able to run their company successfully. So if you don't have those qualities, you won't be able to navigate. I teach people when you're going into a job, everybody's thinking about the dollar. They're thinking about how much you're going to get paid. Okay, I don't care if you get paid $100,000 since you walk into the job. 5 years from now, that salary is not going to be relevant for you. And an entrepreneur is not going to be happy with making the same $100,000 they made 5 years ago, because we understand that if we made $100,000 this year, that means we probably brought in somebody, some other staff. So we're going to need more revenue to make sure this staff is taken care of. We probably bought more equipment. We're going to need more revenue to make sure that we can sustain that stuff. And see, and the people that work, they get that $100,000, they're bouncing off the wall, they're happy 5 years later. Maybe they're making 105, but the cost of living done went up. You done bought a car, you got a boo thing now, you got 2 kids, all that stuff is not sustainable. So where is the growth at? So when you go into your job, you're not looking for the money. The money is going to come, but where you got to find out where's the growth in the job and where's the education in the job. If you can learn something at that job and it's a growth pattern where you're not the next person from the manager, you got 3 or 4 levels up, that's a good job for you to go to, because every time you go up, the money's going to follow. But you're looking for the money, and what's going to fix you now, but not going to fix you for 5, 10 years, from now. And so you get stuck on these jobs and you're not moving out the way. And so the young person that's supposed to have that job 5 years from now, you're still in that space. And this creates I'm going to fight you. I'm not going to let you get your shine, because you haven't really been able to do your thing. And that's what's really happening in our community with everybody. When we haven't done everything we think we should do, and this person coming and moving and they're blazing, they're moving fast, you start stopping them, because you're like, they about to pass me. They've been here 2 years. I've been here 20. That's not their fault. They see something you haven't seen, but you haven't taken advantage, of your opportunities that's there. You were there. You didn't have to stay there at that position. You had to go in with that entrepreneurial spirit. So that's what I call entrepreneurship.
I love that. Tell us about your first book and that writing experience. I work with authors. I know many of them struggle with that process, being accountable. How did you build this business, write a book, continue to write books? I'm guessing after the first one, it became a lot easier. And after the second one, of course, you have a pattern now. You know your triggers when you're going to write, you get your ideas. But talk about that first book. Like, how did you finally hammer that out?
It took a while. I started working on this book in 2017, and it didn't happen until 2019. I brought on Tamika. Tamika, she works with me now. I kidnapped her when she worked with me on the book. But Tamika actually put pen to paper for I Won't Starve, because I wouldn't have been able to do it. I thought I wouldn't be able to do it. It was very emotional for me. It was very close to my family. Me and my wife, we wasn't at odds, but it was talking about the times when we were at odds. I was at odds with her, at odds with her family. We kind of split for a while. It was a lot that went on through that period. And it was emotional. It took 9 months for us to get through this book. And even it wasn't me writing. She was the one putting the pen to the paper. But it was a lot of tabloid type of stuff that could have been in there. And I just wanted to stay at 100. And I'm like, I'm not about that. So I hate when people say they're telling their story, but they're telling other people's story. Or they should say telling their truth, but then everybody else is in it. Like, no, I wanted to make sure I'm telling my truth, not just talking about somebody else. And so it took a long time to get that through. And, that worked out. Then after that, we came up with a plan. And so now I have written the other 2 books, because Tamika never wanted to do that to start with. We took about a month and a half for me to argue with her to get her to do that. And I think that was the hardest work she ever did in her life, dealing with me. But I learned a lot, and I wrote the next 2. And it's been great. Yes, I'm addicted. I tell everybody that, writing books for me now is my uninterrupted conversation. I can have an uninterrupted conversation. So I've been enjoying myself with the process. I got like 3 other books in the queue, but I'm excited about it.
Well, the good thing is there's worse things to be addicted to than being an author. So, we'll just put that there.
Right, we love it. Keep writing books. I see Tamika. Hey, Tamika, I see she put in the chat how people can get your book. So we're gonna make sure we shout your book out, put that on our website and everything, and our Facebook pages and stuff. Because I just, brother, you know what, Tanya and I, we putting something together, and you're gonna come and you're gonna be doing a workshop at what we putting together. We got some stuff coming, but because you've been dropping a lot of nuggets today for all of us and for our viewers, hopefully too. Sounds like you have a lot to talk about, a lot to say, and I think people want to hear it. It sounds like your first book, when you were talking, was like a cleansing. It was a cleansing. You were cleansing a lot of yourself in your first book, which I think we all need that. And I think after you cleansed, it was easy for you to go on and write the second and third book, because we's dynamic people, and a lot of times we don't know that, or we don't believe that within ourselves and stuff. But you are a true testament of the kind of people that we are, and our perseverance and stuff, and how we can overcome a whole lot of stuff and be successful. And I'm your cheerleader. You don't know that, but I cheer for you all the way out here in Los Angeles. I'm cheering for you and your family.
Hey,
I cheer for you guys too.
One of the things I wanted to ask you is, how do you balance? One thing I know for sure is that entrepreneurship, both me and my husband are both entrepreneurs. What does balance look like in your household? Because you have a lot going on.
It's to become a lifestyle for us. We talk about kids. Well, my kids been raised around it. My daughter, she's about to be 13. My son just turned 8. And I literally, when I was talking about working an $8 an hour job, I started that job in 2013, right before he was born. And so the next year I had already had my own office, and so he's been crawling on the floor at my office when it was like 500 square feet. And now him and my daughter run around my 3,000 square foot building, which I had 4 years later. So that's all they saw. And that's all we see. I mean, again, right now I'm out here at a mall, not because I had to be for Wi-Fi. My family was shopping. I mean, my daughter, we were in Vegas, and she was doing her own speaking engagement on the Vegas Strip while we were at lunch back in Maryland while we was in Vegas. Like, we just had to figure it out, So it's our lifestyle. This is what we do, and this is been our family staple.
So Jay, you said Las Vegas. That's what I want to know, because Jeff thought. Now, are you living in Vegas? Are you in South Carolina?
I'm living in South Carolina, but I am going to be moving to Vegas, not completely, but we're going to be opening up shop over there in the next couple of months. So I'll be back out at the end of the month, and I'm looking for property as we speak and doing business out there. So yeah, we'll be back and forth on the West Coast, and the East Coast.
Yeah, he mentioned something that you might be out here, because I guess you guys might have connected or talked on social media or instant message or something like that.
Oh, so, trust me, I follow you guys too. I see you modeling, I see you shooting, I see the work. So we stay in contact, and I really love it. I actually wanted to do a shoot when I came out there, but I think he's going to be on this side for Conclave, and I'll be out there. But yeah, I want to do a shoot. I want to support while I'm out there. So instead of using somebody else, I might as well use the family. So I already told him that.
Okay, well, yeah, and Vegas out there for. I'm gonna be in Vegas. Matter of fact, and maybe I shouldn't say while I'm on the air, but we'll talk offline.
I understand.
But yeah, yeah.
I did want to ask before we let you get out of here, why Phi Beta Sigma?
Inclusion.
Speak on it.
All the other fraternities, even from back in time of Memorial, they all had a stigma. It was like the Alphas was the smart guys, Kappas was the pretty guys, Sigma, the Qs was supposed to be the tough guys, and the Sigmas was including. As long as you was about scholarship, brotherhood, and service, your grades matched and everything was about that. It didn't matter what you look like, So that fits me. I'm not nobody's pretty boy. I'm not nobody's tough guy. I'm not nobody's anything. I'm me. I'm able to be who I need to be at the time I need to be there, but I'm me, and that fit the bill for me. I didn't want to be stigmatized as anything, and then our founders were entrepreneurs. They were men of faith as well as, men of business too. So it just fit.
Well,
we love. Oh, go ahead, Gia.
I was going to say, before we get out here, we'll go on, Tanya. I can say my part later on towards the end.
Just real quick, I wanted him to continue on this. Even though you are a member of Phi Beta Sigma, a member of Theta Phi Beta, as is Gia, what does it mean to be a part of the Black Greek family, the D9? So even though you're in your own family, as a unit, how does that feel for you?
I mean, it feels great. I mean, when, bringing my children around that type of situation, my wife's a Zeta as well. So her mother's like super Zeta. Her mother was like the first executive director of Zeta, paid executive director of Zeta. So just seeing the history, being, a student of history, and just, you know, sometimes teleport. Maybe you guys have done it, teleporting back and thinking like what it looked like 100+ years ago when these intelligent men and women were creating these movements and seeing the things that they were a part of that we kind of sometimes stray away from. We forget that they were a part of a lot of things with these movements, and they were. This was how a lot of things got done in the Black community. And stop, you know, romanticizing just what you did on college campus, but really get out here and doing the work and putting in the work and the helping and making sure that the brothers and sisters can have, you know, that come behind you can have an easier way. They can call somebody like me and say, yo, brother Jay, I need, you know, use your office for something, and have that situation. I've had my whole chapter, had the whole alumni chapter use my office space because they were doing renovations. I love to be able to have that opportunity and then also be able to come back to the brothers and be able to get them to help me out with something. Not always the monetary situation, even just giving access or saying, hey, brother, I'm going to send you something. Seeing your brother that's a cop, seeing your brother that's an engineer, seeing your brother that's an entertainer, and you guys fit. One of my biggest, my son saw me, got a chance to see me with Richard Sherman from the 49ers. He's frat. My son went crazy about that because he's a 49er fan like me. And so seeing me with him and kicking it, he went over the moon about that. So that's, you know, what it feels like to me. It feels like having another family.
Wow, that's awesome. Jay, can you tell us? Okay, well, not tell us. Tell me, because which book of your 3 books do you recommend for entrepreneurs, or new entrepreneurs and old entrepreneurs? Which one
You
do
Won't
you think?
Starve?
You Won't Starve. So we're gonna go. Well, at least I'm gonna go because in our platform, Lady Boss and Sisters Empowering Each Other. Tanya's doing a giveaway in Lady Boss. She's giving away something, but we're gonna give away something else. We're gonna go. I'm gonna go get some books. I'm gonna order some books today or tomorrow, and we're gonna give some books away on our 2 platforms to some of our peoples. Because that's how I do. You know, I support my people. I'm gonna give y'all some books so y'all can read, so y'all can get up on game. Because Jay talking about a lot of stuff, and I think stuff he's talking about can help all of us that are entrepreneurs out there. So look out for the Lady Boss and Sisters Empowering Each Other giveaway. And I might even get some from my family, send them some Christmas gifts. I don't really be doing a lot of shopping, like gifting and Christmas stuff, but I might go on and shoot them something, a book or 2, because, you know, reading is fundamental and we all need to be reading some stuff. So, so yeah.
Thank you. Yes, and this book is for everybody because we specifically broke it down for Gen Z, millennials, as well as baby boomers. So these are the biggest age groups that's in the workforce right now. And so you got the kids, you got millennials, and you got the baby boomers that's about to retire, and they got all that knowledge. They probably been using it for someone else, and now they need to use it for themselves. We got things specifically written out in this book for them.
Hey, real quick, before you run away from us, tell us about your daughter. She too is an author.
Yeah, she's amazing. You know, my daughter Sydney Joe, she started her nonprofit 2 years ago. She is about anti-bullying. It's an anti-bullying club, or ABC for short. She in 5th grade, she witnessed a friend being bullied in school, and she stood up for him. And her and another friend wanted to start their nonprofit, or just start an initiative to help out in school, but the administrators didn't take it seriously. So of course she came to Dad, and she said she wanted to do something. So I was like, you can use my space. And so that worked out, but the pandemic hit and she couldn't have her little meetings and things like that. But I was in the middle of writing You Won't Starve. And so I said, you should write a book. And so she was with it. And Tamika helped her come up with the concepts. And then her little imagination just went someplace. And she finished her book, released it last October. And she's been speaking in different places across the country, well, virtually, but we're looking forward to now that things are opening up for her to go physically and go to those places. She literally just got finished doing a entrepreneurship camp where she just came in second to a young lady that's about to go to college. So it was a young lady that's going to college, and then her and then another young man. So, you know, out of a bunch of kids, she came in second. But the young lady, again, about to go to college, so I don't feel bad about that. But yeah, she got 3 books coming out. This is her first one. It's called Malaysia's Big Move. And it's 3 books out of her anti-bullying series. So the next one is coming out in October again this year. So she's about halfway done from what I hear. So she's just working. She's working. Again, she followed me, and followed my footsteps. She's just like me when it comes to speaking up. She got a lot to say. She's very opinionated, and she's definitely a tenacious entrepreneur.
Well, I love that. Why don't you tell the people how to get in touch with you, stay in touch with you, and follow your moves?
www.jhaleem.com. I am J Haleem on all social media platforms. Again, you find my books everywhere books are sold. Virtually, we're working on getting them inside the store. Of course, my website, jhaleem.com, is definitely the best place to get them because it comes directly to me. But if you need Amazon, Walmart, anywhere else, Books A Million, where I am now, my book is right here. And so you guys can get the book wherever books are sold. And
you guys, they go to your website. It go directly to him. Go to the website, people. Go to his website and get it. You don't need to go to Amazon and get it. You don't need to go to Barnes and Noble. Go straight to his website and get the book, people. Come on now.
I appreciate that. That's who we are. And I have a blog on there as well. It's called Business Corner. So if anybody's in business, they're looking, every week we put out a new blog post talking about some different topic about business right now. I think the last one I put out was about video testimonials. So just diving into the importance of video testimonials and how people are using them as a tool for marketing. But if you go on Business Corner on my website, you'll be able to keep up with my weekly blog, and it's very good information. Just go ahead and respond if you got to keep the conversation going. But I write. We've been doing this since the year started, so we haven't missed a week. So about 30 weeks in.
Man, I love all of this. I love it so much because one, it's family. Two, you don't hate on other people to rise above. You don't hate on any other person to get your point across. All you talk about is what you know and how it can benefit others. And we have to be very appreciative of that. That's how you do business. But I will say, what you just said is public relations, meaning using third-party endorsements, your recommendations, to get new clients and to get people to know who you are. When you have people that have testified on your behalf, there is no better way to show that you are worth their time and their money. Help people get to know, like, and trust you through other avenues such as testimonials. I think that's a brilliant blog. I can't wait to read it.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Look at it. Go ahead. Let me show him, Miss Gia. There you go.
So y'all need to get on board, rally around this. Y'all be rallying around all this other stuff that people y'all don't even know, but y'all know him. So let's rally. Look, here we go. So y'all see it? Come on now.
They see it. They see it. So let's go ahead and, again, thank you. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time. We're looking forward to seeing you on the West Coast. Yes.
Yes. Be right out there in a couple of weeks. And then I'll be in LA. I think August 2nd and 3rd.
August 2nd or 3rd. All right, let's mark that down.
2nd and 3rd. Yeah, I'll be out there.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we want to thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you all back here next week. Miss Gia, anything before we go? What do you have coming up? Where can the people get in touch with you?
Oh, I'll be back out in the streets at the Nothing But Black Fleet on July the 10th. That's at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall. So y'all come on out, support a sister, and support all the other entrepreneurs out there doing their thing. Yeah, you might catch me in the streets going live somewhere. Tanya and I, we finna get mobile and stuff. We got some stuff coming. So y'all catch us. If y'all want us to come and go live from whatever you got going on, hit Tanya up. Hit Tanya. Tanya, hit her up.
Calling me.
Don't call me. Hit Tanya. She's the booking agent, okay? But we'll show up and hey, we'll broadcast. We'll talk about whatever you want us to talk about at your event, whatever. But we in it. We in it to win it.
And for me, you can always follow Sand and Shores or Tanya McKenzie PR on all social platforms. And for my ladies out there, feel free to jump into the Lady Boss group on Facebook or LinkedIn, and don't be Rachel Nichols. All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't forget, we got new stuff coming out. So when y'all see it, when it hits the website, let me show y'all, look, we got some stuff coming out, some merchandise. So y'all support, Be part of the cup crew. The cup crew. We know y'all out there. Get your cups. We go, hey, get your cups, cup crew.
All right, ladies, you guys take it easy, and we will see you next week.